Hello, I'm Riifushi, and today I'll be designing a character and her weapons for my game. I mentioned in previous videos that I've been working on a game with my friend Rita, so she is currently responsible for the world building and game design, while I'm working on the art and eventually programming. This video will be a bit different from my previous ones, but I had a lot of fun with designing and hope you enjoy me messing around with character designs. The game is still very early in development, but overall I want to share my art and design process and hear your feedback for our game whenever we have something to share. Also, a quick announcement before I start, I'll be hosting an art contest in collaboration with XPPen. I'll share more details about how to enter at the end of the video, but anyway, here is the start to my devlog series where I design a war criminal for my game. As for the people working on the game, as I just mentioned, Rita is the world builder, writer, game designer, but also pretty much the director, making sure the game has standards. Whereas I'm the artist, taking the world and characters that Rita has written and drafting concept art. We also have a few friends that we bounce ideas and references off of, but that's pretty much our team so far. It's small, but it works for now. As for the game, to preface, most things in the game are a work in progress, and details I say now may change as more characters and game mechanics are defined. But overall, the game is planned to be a JRPG. According to Rita's description of the game is inspired by the human experience, drawing upon different cultures and histories of humanity as a whole. Liberties have been taken, of course, to retain a fantastical nature of a fantasy world. The world is generally anachronistic, and one could see strange sights that seem paradoxical at times. But the world building is set for a different video. In this one, we will be covering one of the four main characters. 4 different characters from different walks of life come together under a particular circumstance, with each of them carrying a different reason for seeking the star that fell from the skies. One of them is a former soldier, now seeking a better life for himself and his sister. Another is an eccentric performer who had hired the party with their newfound wealth. The third is a member of an organization that, while enjoying its status as a well-respected religious body, is a group that is far more concerned with the pragmatic retrieval of what they deem as noteworthy relics and artifacts. The final member is who we will be discussing today, Natalija Ramonda. So we actually started talking about this project a year ago, and here's some of the concept art that I've created for Natalija that I finally decided to flesh out in this video. Rita describes her as follows. Natalija's parents had bought themselves into nobility in a certain country, making Natalija a daughter of the new nobility. While she is deeply proud of her country, she finds no interest in the affairs of an aristocratic life. After acquiring the funds, assets, and connections of her parents when they were still merchants, she turned to a merchant life herself, but has an appetite for both clean and unsavory business. She is as likely to sell medical supplies to the needy as she is to sell weapons to a warmongering nation. Everyone sees her as a cheerful girl, with a rather witty and upbeat personality. But those who know her beyond just a mere acquaintance or business partner notes that she is often too smart for her own good. She often has a penchant for making dark comments, but it's often difficult to tell if she's joking or otherwise. So in these initial sketches, I wanted to start again from the beginning and explore different outfits, hairstyles, and hats. I started off by redrawing my initial concept art for her, but I didn't exactly feel like it was Natalija yet. And also, I just didn't really like how she looked. She was not cute enough yet. For her design, I wanted to highlight both her interest in her country, which is a militaristic one, and her noble/merchant life. So in all of these designs, she has a different military outfit that I had to search World War I uniforms for. During this, one of my friends had mentioned that an oversized outfit symbolizes that the character is in a role that she is too young or not fit for, like having big shoes to fill. And I felt like that would be perfect for her since she's off selling weapons when she should be, I don't know, like doing normal girl things. And besides that, oversized clothes on a cute girl just always look great. So I decided on her outfit being that she took a uniform top from her country's military and tied a belt around it to have the shape of a dress. I like this idea so much that this dress idea stayed throughout her entire design. So I decided that any clothing related to her combat interests would be oversized and any clothing related to her noble or casual wear would be fitted. After showing these sketches to Rita and company, Rita mentioned that her outfit shouldn't be exactly a military uniform for 2 reasons. The first being that a person usually shouldn't walk around in the uniform of an army they don't belong to for various reasons. The second being that she would likely be wearing combat gear that she is developing and selling as a merchant. Therefore, her outfit should be more experimental and customized for her purposes as someone who travels around a lot. So it should resemble more of a combat outfit rather than a standardized military outfit. So in the next sketches, I kept the oversized dress look, but I wanted it to be more asymmetrical and experimental. Almost a bit scrappy, like she improvised and sewed on extra pockets or added extra belts to her combat outfit for convenience. Besides her outfit, I also decided on how her eyes would look. I wanted it to give off the impression of a cheerful, energetic girl, yet also feel like she's thinking of something else. Someone that you can laugh and have a good time with, yet not understand what is hidden beneath those eyes. So I decided to give her lightless eyes with purple flowers floating in them. If you get the chance to look at her closely, the flowers in her eyes will glow when she's excited about something. I also added a casual outfit for Natalija. It's something that she would wear when she's out enjoying life. I wanted her hair to be long and flowy and her outfit to give the impression of being laid back. So I decided to put her in a nice sundress with a big floppy straw hat. I'm personally a huge fan of white sundresses and have 3 in my closet, so I really wanted her to have one too. I think they're so cute and comfortable and would fit her chill side really well. Her shoes aren't defined too well, but they're supposed to be white boots with ribbon strapped and tied around her lower leg, kind of like a ballet shoe. After presenting the new sketches to the committee, the overall consensus leaned towards number 4 and number 6. At this point, her main outfits were solidified, so I wanted to define her details. So in the next section, I moved on to her hairstyle and her color scheme. For her hairstyle, I wanted it to be long when she's wearing her sundress, but also wanted it to be tied up neatly and out of the way when she's in her combat outfit. Originally, I had her hairstyle sort of like Mitsuha from Your Name, where she would braid 2 parts of her hair and tie it into a ponytail. However, since I changed Natalija's hair to be longer, it would end up in a long ponytail, which I felt didn't suit her as well. So I tried to search for hairstyles where long hair could somehow be completely tied up, and I ran into the absolute cutest hairstyle of all time, milkmaid braids. I like this hairstyle so much and didn't really see many other characters with this hairstyle, and I felt like it fit her really well, so I slapped some flowers on it and said it was perfect. For her color scheme, I wanted to try both natural and unnatural colors. But the more versions I colored, I wasn't really sure or satisfied with any of them. I sort of liked the green and red-haired versions, but didn't know if it fit her character. After coloring 5 different versions, I was a bit discouraged because I didn't like any of them. So I decided that I would test out different poses with different hair colors later. But for now, I took a break from her design and moved on to her weapons. For her weapon, Rita designed it as an early prototype of a bolt-action rifle. Typically, barrels and guns are rifled in a swirl pattern to spin the bullet to maintain accuracy when shooting. However, her early prototype of a gun lacks this feature. Instead, she uses her wind magic to spin the bullet artificially. She also has a bayonet, which is a knife attached to the end of the rifle, so essentially, the rifle can be used as a spear as well. Okay, so I know I'm American, but I actually don't know all too much about guns. I'm serious, I don't know. So this is actually the first time I researched the design of guns and bayonets and tried to make them look cool. For her gun and bayonet, I wanted it to portray the same experimental and scrappy look of her outfit. Her weapons are also something that should be developed for selling purposes and personalized for her own use. However, unlike her outfit, we wanted the weapons to take in magic in some way and be customizable with interchangeable parts as a game mechanic. Basically, as you find more relics throughout the game, you can enhance Natalija's weapon according to your preferred playstyle. This includes shortening the gun, adding features to the bayonet, or focusing more on the magic aspect. It would essentially be a customizable skill tree for her gun. For now, I wanted to focus on designing her starting rifle and bayonet, Simple and upgradable, yet still personalized. So at this point, even though I knew what I was going for, I had trouble designing the weapons to look experimental and also make them look cool. So I started quickly testing some weird shapes in this section to get more comfortable with drawing rifles. I thought, does this look cool enough? Oh well, whatever. For her bayonet, I wanted it to be short so she could attach it to her leg and be accessible for other uses like cutting wire. After testing some basic rifles, I started to sketch some options the player could customize. The magic system and attachments aren't defined yet, so I just experimented with a bunch of random things. These rifles play on the idea of Natalija gathering some old relics, like broken rifle parts or an old telescope, and simply attaching them onto her own rifle. I was thinking a telescope might fit since the party is interested in the star that fell from the sky. The last one is sort of a rifle flamethrower combination where she adds compressed fuel to her gun. Honestly, I have no idea what it would do, except for possibly shooting the flame and bullet at the same time. The bayonets also use the same concept of her finding a relic, like an old kitchen knife, as she shapes and adds features to it to make it usable as a bayonet. After sharing these concepts to the round table, Rita suggested that we could focus on nailing down the starting rifle. So I took all of their preferences and decided to roll with this design for the rifle, and this design for the bayonet. As I'm drawing them, I'll be talking about the idea of Natalija using wind magic to spin her bullets. Rita explained to me that early guns like the musket did not have rifling, so their shots were highly inaccurate. So how did we solve this? Well, it was discovered that by spinning the bullet, it would maintain its accuracy, which led to modern rifling. But in a world that has magic, it's crucial to think from the character's perspective. Natalija's first thought wouldn't be rifling, but magic. And if magic can solve all problems, then why innovate? How would Natalija solve these human issues, and what are the limits of her magic? That's what makes a fantasy world fascinating, and that's what I want to portray in my future designs. I still feel like they could be better, but for now, I'm pretty happy with how they look, so I'll wait for Rita to work on the magic system, and I'll draw something else in the meantime. After the weapons, I wanted to revisit the last part of her design, which is her hair color. So I sketched out 2 poses for her and wanted to try out red and green. Yes, I made 2 illustrations just to see which hair color looked better. By this point, I had already spent a lot of time on her, and maybe the mentally sane person would have moved on. But actually, I had a really fun time experimenting with all of these details, even though it took a while. Rita should be grateful. As I'm coloring here are my closing thoughts. Throughout Natalija's design, I learned a bit of what it's like to work with Rita. Rita is someone who has a very clear vision of what she's looking for, and she won't beat around the bush when it comes to feedback. I started off by being an artist that really wanted to define each detail before sending it to Rita, but I quickly learned to not get too attached to my initial sketches because Rita will veto them. When Rita disapproves, she will say her honest thoughts and to continue experimenting with the designs. She then gives me tons of reference and lets me ask her any questions, and I'm like, okay, you're right. I can do better, you're right. When Rita is unsure how she feels about it, she'll say to test more, and when Rita is impressed, she'll say impressive. And the thing about that is it's always unexpected, and it hits different when someone who's always been honest with you is says it's good, then you're like, oh my god, they actually think it's good. So then I'll just say something like, stop embarrassing me, that's too much. So by the end of this character design, I became an artist that just sketched quickly without worrying too much. Instead of trying really hard to impress her and then she says it sucks and I feel like, oh no, I have to do better next time. I felt it was better to just get feedback and do better. Also, by the end of it, it was really satisfying to look back and see how I went from a character that was kind of generic to someone who is more interesting and that I'm happy with. For Natalija in the future, I want to make a proper expression and character sheet and define her weapons more. By the way, Rita mentioned that she might start a blog about the game if people are interested, so feel free to let us know in the comments if you are. Anyway, here's Natalija's final hair test illustration. After consulting the council, they have spoken that they prefer the green version and suggested adding red strands. But I also wanted to ask you guys your thoughts. Do you prefer her hair as red, or green, or maybe some entirely different color? Let me know in the comments about your thoughts. For future devlogs, I'll continue to showcase anything that I design, like the world and the other characters, so I'll see you then. But for now, thank you to XPPen for sponsoring this video. XPPen kindly gifted me their XPPen Artist Pro 14 Gen 2 that I'll be drawing Natalija with here and enjoyed using. The X3 Pro Smart Chip Stylus has 16K pressure levels and was actually really comfortable to use. It features a 1920 by 1200 high resolution, 16 by 10 wider ratio screen, and I found out it's quite nice to use as a second monitor when you're not using it for drawing. It also came with a separate wireless shortcut remote that made Control-Zing all my mistakes quick and easy. I will also be collaborating with XPPen to host an art contest for their 19th anniversary celebration and giving away a Deco 640 and anniversary gift for the winner. I will also draw a quick doodle for the top 3 winners. The art contest theme will follow both XPPen's 19th anniversary theme Original is Original and their art contest theme Future Me. Human emotions, creativity, and the desire for expression will never be replaced by technology. We hope to honor the spirit of originality through this theme. Imagine your future and bring it to life through art. Whether it's a high-tech world or a barrier-free global village, let your creativity soar. Overall, all types of arts are accepted as long as it is drawn and created by you and follows the theme Future Me. To join, please use the hashtag Riifushi XPPen19 and tag me Riifushi on either Twitter or Instagram. The deadline will be in about 3 weeks on September 28th, 2024. I'm looking forward to seeing all of your art and thank you for watching. Bye bye!